welcome to CBDME with Healing Power of Hemp. I am Sylvia Cates. I am a freelance makeup artist and esthetician. And today we are going to be making a lavender CBD matcha. So CBD has a lot of benefits for me personally. I like to use it for muscle pain. It's really relaxing though. It's great if you have anxiety and if you have like any sort of pain in your body. I find it very helpful for that. We are going to be using the Healing Power of Hemp lavender tincture. I have the 1,000 milligram one, but you can use any of them. It would be just as good. So let's go ahead and get started. I have here a glass of oat milk that's iced, and I did leave room so we can put the matcha in there as well. For this, you can really use any kind of milk you like. You can use real milk, you can use almond milk, soy milk, anything is gonna work just the same. It's just about personal preference. I love this because it's super easy to make. Takes me about like 5 minutes and better than Starbucks in my opinion. So I have this little cup. This just has a little bit of water in it. You don't want to use too much water because it'll water down your latte, but this is just to mix in the matcha and all of our other ingredients to pour on top of this. It's almost like pouring an espresso shot into a coffee, so that's what we're going to use that for. Also here I have matcha powder. You want to use a higher grade matcha powder if possible. Ceremonial grade is the best. I believe this is like food or culinary grade, so this is also a really good one. And then we have some local honey and some vanilla extract as well. So let me go ahead and grab a spoon really quick. Okay. So as far as matcha goes, this really is about like whatever you prefer. If you're a morning person and you need a lot of caffeine, you can use maybe like 1.5 spoonfuls. I'm just gonna use 1, and that should be more than enough for me. Matcha does have a decent amount of caffeine in it, so if you are sensitive, maybe err on the side of less at first. I really don't like to use specific measurements though, because it really is just about personal preference. So I went ahead and just scooped that into my water, and then I'm gonna take a whisk and whisk it in really well. And since matcha is a powder, if you don't whisk this properly, there are gonna be lumps. So just make sure to do this very thoroughly. Make sure to get the bottom too. So now that we have the matcha mixed in, we can go ahead. I just like to fill a cap full of this vanilla extract. Just a little bit, add some flavor. Honey, I personally, again, I don't like to use measurements for it because it's a personal preference. I don't like matcha to be too sweet, so I'm only just gonna add a little bit. If you don't have honey, you can also use like sugar, agave nectar, or simple syrup, anything like that. I like honey because it does have the health benefits. It helps me out because I have seasonal allergies. So putting in that is very nice. So I'm gonna mix in the honey now too. And mixing in the honey in the matcha or whatever sugar you do want to use in here is also much better than putting it in your glass of milk, because since I'm using mine iced, you can also make this hot, but if you are doing this cold, the honey won't mix in well when there is a cup of ice, so just be careful of that. And then finally, last but not least, I'm going to use my CBD tincture. Since this is 1,000 milligrams, I don't need too much of it. I'm pretty sensitive to like any sort of substance, so I'm just going to use a little bit. Just got a couple drops in there, and then I'm going to whisk that in too. Cool. So now that we have this mixture, we're going to get our glass of milk and just pour this in there, and look how pretty it is, guys. Like, it's such a beautiful thing to make, but it's so easy. And then just mix it in with a spoon. And you are all done. There's your matcha CBD latte. Thank you for joining me.